Hello and welcome to Film Companion South and Ask BR. Sometimes what we do with Ask BR is we don't talk about a new movie or a subject. We just take a look at the YouTube questions that come up, and in a way that's also Ask BR, like Abhi Shivu asked in the Isped Raja review, Kalam pora vayasala unak inda padam thevaya? Good question. But what to do? We cannot have different age groups reviewing different films. But that, by that same logic, would this mean that Abhi Shivu would not watch a film meant for older people? I don't know. But the serious answer to this question, of course, I always have a serious answer. I'm not a light person that way. So, see, everybody has within us like a bit of all ages, you've passed through all these ages. So, actually, the reverse might be true. Like, I may not be able to appreciate in detail a movie about like real old age, because that experience has not happened yet. Though maybe compared to you, I'm real old. But Isped Raja, I know I've been through that phase, so it shouldn't be that much of a problem to accept that. Rational Modi fan. That's the name, Rational Modi fan, and I did not pick this question. So I'm just like telling you the name again. Rational Modi fan asks, Barry, but why do you opicify your reviews from the website? Because I take a lot of trouble to write that review, and I kind of condense it for this review because I cannot have one set of thoughts for print and one set of thoughts for video. It's the same thing. If you're asking me why I don't write a separate like funny or like something more video friendly, I guess that's because I'm basically a print person and I'm still getting used to video. So a lot of people have just told me I've just started getting comfortable in front of the camera, and it's taken 2 years. So maybe in a few more years you'll find me getting like comfortable enough to have different non-opicifying reviews for the website. Thank you, Rational Modi fan, for that question. Castron Teva. Okay, if you say so. For the Satru review, he's asked me this question. Idu peru review swear word, beep. Padathoda story அப்படியே சொல்றார். So I don't know. I typically don't tell the story in its entirety, but the problem is also that it's not possible to talk about a review without at least an outline of the story. So எனக்கு அந்த சத்ரு review நிஜமாவே ஞாபகம் இல்லை. So I don't know how much I revealed about the story, but I usually don't. And not to the extent that you might have a problem with. Vignesh Rajendran says, see you soon at the movies. Yengenna sonna naangalum varuvamla sollunga BR. So I don't go for the 5 a.m. shows, but if you really want me to see me at the movies, usually you can catch me at an 8 a.m. show somewhere in the city. Several people have caught me there. So this also came for the Satru review. So so like an 8 a.m. show when everybody else is probably having a cup of coffee or something like that. I've already woken up, I've done all my stuff for the morning, and I'm out at a theater watching a movie, all for your benefit. So, I hope you appreciate me. Arasu says, this guy is a paid reviewer. Of course I'm a paid reviewer, dude. I get paid by Film Companion every month. I'm not an altruist. I'm not going to do this for free. Of course I'm a paid reviewer. Never give up forever. That's the name, Never Give Up Forever says, you're the Motta boss of sarcasm for the Natpe Tune review. I think I will take that as a compliment because the last time somebody got called Motta boss, it was Rajnikant. So I think that's a good comparison. Ketu Ram says, super deluxe effect nalla workout aayirukku pola. Your video reviews are becoming more entertaining. Hopefully they should. It's been 2 years. I can't be that same stiff person sitting in front of the camera. Hopefully there's some kind of animatedness that's creeping into these reviews. This has come for the Natpe Tune review. So thank you so much, Ketu Ram. I hope you meant that as a compliment. Victor Das says, I'm in love with a cute and bubbly baddie. I'm not sure how to respond to this. It came for the Natpe Tune review, so I'm just going to let this pass. Prijesh Das for the Recos, which is a section that we've started recently, and please look at it because we are trying to kind of expand our cinema coverage by covering not just the recent movies but also older movies in other languages plus film related books. Prijesh Das says, some of us cinema lovers can't afford a Netflix subscription of rupees 500 and you expect us to buy this book for the same price. You are so elitist, BR. You don't have to buy a book. It's sometimes nice to know about a book because I read out some bits from the book and I said this is what the book is about. So even that is knowledge. Sometimes knowing these things is enough. You don't have to necessarily go and buy a book. Though yes, book reading is an expensive habit, but I'll tell you one thing which has always bothered me. If you're not a book reading type, then that's fine. I'm not going to get you up at all. But a friend of mine once told me, when my Conversations with Maniratnam book came out, it first came out as a hardcover and it cost, I think, $5.99. And he said, dude, this book is really expensive. So I said, what do you mean? You know, you're getting it on Flipkart at that time for like, I don't know, like maybe 150 rupees less. So it must have been some like 350, 450, something like that. So that's not terribly expensive, right, for a book. So he said, no, but that's like, you know, once the book is over, you know, what do I do? So I said, how much do you pay for pizza when you order pizza home? And he just smiled sheepishly, because every time you order pizza, you're spending something like 500, 600 bucks. If you go out and have drinks or something like that, you're spending out, spending similar money. And all that goes away the next morning. So at least with a book, you can put it on your bookshelf and say, I read these terribly intellectual things. So please form an opinion of me based on the books. Like I always have books behind me, because I want you to think that I am the bookie kind, even though I've not read any of these books, and they're just standing there to hold this cup in case you didn't know. But that's what it is. Brijesh Das again asks in the records, as long as you don't cheat us with bad records like Super Deluxe BR. I'm sorry, Rude, but I really like that movie. So I'm sorry it didn't work for you. But Varun Atreya says, for the Ask BR on Super Deluxe, did I just hear BR say matter movie LOL? Shouldn't BR say matter movie? Should I say pornographic epic? I don't know. Is that the image that you have of me? I review Tamil films too, so I think matter movie should be okay. Karthikeyan Tandapani asked in the Ask BR of Super Deluxe, சொல்லாம கொள்ளாம வீடியோ போடுறது இல்லைன்னா நானும் என் questions அனுப்பியிருப்பேன் போங்கயா. See, this is a question a lot of people have asked. I just want to tell you that subscribe to Film Companion South. It's F Companion South on Twitter at F Companion South. We every time there's an Ask BR, we put out a note and we put out a tweet. And you can ask all your questions, or even if it's not questions, sometimes people have very interesting things to say about the movie, and you know, sometimes those make its way as well. So just follow the handle and you will know when the next episode is coming up. So you can send in your questions. We usually give about 2 days and then we collect the questions and put them up. So that's what you should do. Sadhika Ravi says this thing that I'm not going to address, but this is probably going to come up on your video screen. So please try not to laugh. Ketu Ram says, I think I have a crush on BR after this one from a happily married 30-year-old mom for the 100k video. Thank you, I think. Wingardium Leviosa, Harry Potter fan. I am a Harry Potter fan as well, says for the 100k video. கடைசியில் இந்த மனுஷனையும் பஞ்ச் பேச வச்சிட்டீங்களேடா. You know, everybody does. So I think if you've noticed my written reviews as well, I've been trying to do these punches for a long time. But in the madri punch, I think I'm not given. It was just fun doing it. It's not, you know, you shouldn't take yourself too seriously. Sometimes I do tend to take myself too seriously in my reviews. So this is a way to kind of lighten up, I guess. So I don't know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Hopefully this one worked for you. Super Deluxe review again that got a lot of comments. Dr. Dina Trajan says, Mr. Rangan, you are firing words like a bullet train. Can you be slow? And why not show VS in his trans avatar? I don't know what that second part of the question means, but the first part of the question, I think, you know, I'm subconsciously trying to keep it short, and I think that's my natural speed of speaking. So if it's really a problem, let me know, and I will try to slow it down. I'm serious about this because I do tend to speak fast, I think. I tend to read fast and I tend to speak fast. So, you know, if it's a problem, just let me know. Radha Kannan says, for the Super Deluxe review again, you can guess how many stars by seeing the length of the review. BR talks in length about the movies he likes. Yeah, I do tend to do that because, you know, I don't want to name this movie, but the other day I came back after a movie and I told my colleague, my first instinct was to just write a 50 to 100 word capsule review and be done with it, because the movie gave me nothing to write about. And you know, I've been doing this for 16 years now, and you've covered all kinds of suboptimal and bad movies, and you just, like, sometimes you wonder, is it worth the effort to try to find something new to write about these movies? You know, what do you do? But then I guess something happens and you try to just, you know, write a bit about this and that. But yes, when a movie like Super Deluxe happens, or even if a movie that, I know quite a few movies like Sarvam Thalumayam, which kind of worked for me, or like, I'm saying that regardless of whether it works for you or not, uh, it gives you stuff to talk about. That's, I think, very important, because a lot of people look at reviews as the end point of a movie discussion. They think that, oh, BR or whichever other reviewer that you follow, they've said this and therefore that's the final verdict. But I look at it as the beginning of a discussion. So this is what I have to say about a movie, and why don't you take it forward? If you disagree, come and disagree with me. If you find points that I have not mentioned, come and talk to me about it. So let's talk about the movie. This is my initial set of points. Why don't you take it forward? So I love those movies that give you a lot of initial set of points that you can just put it forward, because sometimes what happens is, like, take Super Deluxe, for which this movie came. It's like, it's such sensory overload in terms of both content and form that even the review of my review was like some over 2000 words, I think, and I was desperately trying to cut it down. I couldn't cover a lot of things that I wanted to say, simply because it was, I think my first draft was some 3000 or 3500 words, and I was like, chop this, I've already made this point, so let's not mention another point in the same category. You really don't want to kind of get that long in terms of a review, because you don't want to repeat yourself. But I have also talked a lot about films which I have not given many stars to, but are very interesting to talk about. So I think it's more than the number of stars. I think it's the content of the film, the interestingness of the film that I really care about. That gives me lots to talk about, and that's why you have the bigger reviews. Ramya P says, can someone tell me the books names that are stacked up behind him for the IRA review? I will tell you, because the books stacked up today are Schindler's List is one of the books. Mario Puzo's The Sicilian. I didn't choose that book, but it's here. Brief History of Seven Killings by Marlon James. Yes, damn good book. Charles Chaplin autobiography. That's also a very good book. There's an Ashwin Sanghi here. I haven't read it. And there's a Virginia Woolf. So there's a mix of all sorts of things here. But I'm telling you, the secret now, it's all here so that you can see the Film Companion South Cup. That's the secret you learn in this Ask PR. Rahul Krishna says this is not Film Companion South but Film Companion Tamil. I humbly disagree, because we have been trying our best to have a lot of Telugu and Malayalam content as well. The only real problem area we have is with Kannada content, because it's very difficult to get actors, it's difficult to get anchors there. We've been trying our best to put things together. See, the other thing is, we did one Anantnag review long back. It was not very well received. We've done a Hemant Rao interview now. That's kind of picking up. So I'm saying, watch these movies. Let people know that you're watching them, so that the people who are making the decisions, that's not me, the people who are making these decisions to allot money to these various things, know that there is a huge viewership there and they would like more of these videos, and that's how you get videos. So, but we have been trying, at least with Telugu and Malayalam, we have been trying to do a lot, and we have done quite a bit. In fact, we will be starting Telugu film reviews soon. Actually, by the time you see this video, the first review might already have been up. So let us know how you find it. This came for the IRA review, by the way. Sam Nag interview. BR has done some good homework regarding questions. Superb. Thank you. That is something I try to do a lot. I rarely accept interviews that come and say, can you show up in a couple of hours? I don't do that because I get a little nervous about that. The ideal way to do that is not over prepare, but also not under prepare, but kind of be somewhere in the middle, so that you have a basic outline to go through, but then your instinct takes over and you can kind of respond. It's like playing a game of tennis, you kind of go back and forth, and hopefully, as much as I love this compliment, I have to say that every interview that you think good depends as much on the interviewee. So I could do the best preparation, have all the most fantastic questions, but if the other person is either not in the mood to talk, or if this other person is not the kind who talks and who just gives one word answers or something like that, then I'm screwed and you're screwed, I guess. So it all depends on like a two-way interaction, and hopefully that keeps happening. Thank you for this though. A joint work production filmmaker says, Ungalku English venuma, subscriber venuma, please speak in Tamil. I try to do both. The Vijay Sethupathi interview was in Tamil, but something, we are an English publication. Film Companion is an English publication. The idea is to take southern language cinema to a larger population. So if you find our reviews in the printed form, not necessarily printed form, but in the published form, are in English, and they are of regional reviews. So our reviews in the spoken form as well are in English, and we've tried Tamil reviews before that didn't really work because that space is already well represented. So there are people from outside Tamil Nadu who keep asking us, saying we like getting to know about movies from the south, and they don't follow Tamil. So I guess it's up to you to kind of follow. I know that at this rate we will probably not have that kind of fantastic subscriber growth. It's also the content that we do. I guess it's a little maybe specialized. I don't know. I don't think it's specialized, but I found out over time that people think this is a bit like a cinema lovers kind of channel as opposed to something more generic. I take that as a compliment, and yes, the growth is not going to be phenomenal. Like we're not going to grow in leaps and bounds, but we've been growing at a good pace, and we recently touched 100K subscribers, which is not bad, I think. So yeah, so I think you're stuck with an English speaking host and the occasional Tamil speaking host. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Ask PR, and once in a while, once in a month or something like that, we'll do something fun like this. Hopefully this was fun. Keep watching Film Companion South, and see you soon in the next Ask PR.